Hello and welcome. Recently, my wife's car was in the shop and we needed a car at home that's a bit more comfortable for the family to get in and out of. So I went to one of the rental car agencies and was going to rent something, mediocre or whatever. And then they told me for $6 a day more, I could have this, a 2021 4Runner SR5 Premium. So it's got the leather seats and your navigation. I don't know what else entails on the Premium, but it's somewhat well equipped. And I figured, what the hell, why not? I haven't driven one of these in a long time. A friend of mine just sold his, and another friend of mine has two of them. So I figured, what the heck? My wife liked it, sort of. And then I even went and looked around locally and I found one with the third row, which would be ideal because we have a family. And then I said, I want to drive it for a couple of days just to see how I like it. And that's where the plot thickens, as they say. For a daily driver with a family, I absolutely hate this thing. I can't stand it. Why? Well, first of all, the gas mileage is horrendous. It's something like 16, 19. And at first you would think it would be better than that because it's a V6. It's only a 5-speed automatic, but when you're on the freeway doing 70, it's only turning 2,000 RPM. But then when you take your foot off the gas, and it starts to slow down right away. That's because it's big, it's heavy, and it's a box. It's like moving a box at 70 miles an hour. As soon as you stop pushing it, it's going to slow down. It's just physics. But then on the flip side of that same coin, I like this thing. I like it a lot. And I'll tell you why. You might be thinking, how can you hate it and love it at the same time? Well, like I said, for my personal use, for daily driving and for going places, I would prefer something a little bit more economical and a little less bouncy. It's always hopping around up and down. But I understand why this car exists. This car exists in this form, which has been around with us for quite some time now. I mean, for God's sakes, it's 2021. It's been pretty much the same car for I don't know how many years now, with just subtle changes here and there. And that's because it's simple and it's rugged. This car is one of very few left in this niche, and it's exactly what people want. I mean, look at it. They don't offer any incentives. They sell like hotcakes. I have a family member who works in a Toyota dealership down south, and he says this is one of their #1 selling trucks. This and the Taco, people come in and just buy them outright. They don't even hesitate. They don't ask for deals, for rebate, nothing. Just walk in and buy them. This would be very bad if this thing tipped over right now. This truck is for someone who wants to go to work on Friday and without having to go home and change and switch cars, can go straight to the campsite, to the overlanding site, the off-road site, whatever it may be, and toss it around a bit. It may be old, it may be somewhat archaic, but that means it's tried and it's true and it's reliable. Quite frankly, if you want a family hauler, get a Highlander or a Sienna if it's got to be a Toyota. Get something else. I've had a few 4Runners in the past, especially older ones, And I understand the appeal they have. I mean, currently, unless you want a Wrangler, I don't think there's anything else out there that is in this category. They don't make the Xterra anymore. The Pathfinder's unibody now, so it's no longer a serious contender for off-roading. The Grand Cherokee's a bit too posh. And I don't think it's as rugged as this. What Toyota has done is, by continuing to make this very truck, the same it's been for a long time, is grow a track record of reliability and dependability that's second to none. And that's why they still sell. There are people who drive nothing but 4Runners. They buy one, they rack up the miles, or something happens to it, they get rid of it, and they buy another. And it just keeps going. They're just like that old friend from high school that you had, that the world has changed and they haven't. They're still the same. When you need the favor, you can give them a call and they'll be there at the drop of a hat. They don't need much, they don't ask for much, and they're good company. And as much as I'm not too thrilled with the economy and the ergonomics, I mean, I understand these big switch gears is so people who have maybe been off-roading and their hands are dirty, muddy, wet, whatever. I've heard all the different reasons. But come on, Toyota, I understand, but a nice little panel here with touch buttons that was a little closer, easier to reach, a little bit more user-friendly, it's not a bad idea. For example, I am sitting in the car in my normal driving position. I'm about 6'4", so I got a decent wingspan. So, here, sitting perfectly comfortable, and I'm going to try to reach for the climate controls. I can reach that knob, just barely. Can reach the fan, but the temperature is literally out of my reach. The tune knob is just reachable. So is the screen, the volume. And then you have your controls up here. Your traction control, instead of down there, is up here. As well as your A-track and your DAC, your garage door opener home link, your lights. And then over on this side, you have your power window switches, which is all the way up here, kind of where you would rest your arm, if there was enough shelf here for you to get your arm up there. Then you have your power mirrors and your light adjustment and everything here. You got your buttons on your steering wheel for various different controls. You have the traditional Toyota Cruise stock. I'm happy they at least kept this very familiar. If you've ever had a Toyota, you know exactly how this works, and it's simple. And there are your gauges. Nothing too much, nothing over the top, just very simple, easy to read. Your heated seats, and probably one of the best features on this is the rear window. Probably one of my most favorite features of the 4Runner is that power rear window. The navigation is okay. It's pretty good. It has some physical buttons. Not everything is a touchscreen, which most people prefer, myself included. I like a touchscreen, but at the same time, I like to have a few physical buttons for the features and things that I need on the regular. I like to have a physical volume button. My Ridgeline didn't have that. The new ones do, thankfully. They listen. But overall, it's just, when you drive this thing, you feel like you're top of the world. It's a rugged, reliable SUV that's stood the test of time. Pros: it's solid, it's dependable, it's rugged, it's capable, it's reliable, it's got that beefy look if you're into that. I mean, the list goes on. Cons: it's not the most comfortable ride in the world. She's thirsty. And the rugged looks come at the cost of aerodynamics. This thing is like a U-Haul box on wheels. In conclusion, if this is what you're looking for, a rugged SUV that not much stands in its way, whether it be inclement weather, overlanding, off-roading, whatever have you, and you're willing to sacrifice fuel economy, or you have another car that might be better on gas for daily commutes and whatnot, you really can't fault it. I don't think you can get much better. There's a reason why they still make this exactly how it's been made for years. There's a reason why people still buy them. And there's a reason to still like them. And here's the other thing. See that big puddle there? Normally, you would avoid it. There. But in this car, you just go right through it. Oh, there's another one. See? Okay, I'm trying to see if I can get a decent launch, a little performance out of this thing. Let's see what it can do. Okay, let's just... Okay, not bad. It's definitely not exhilarating, but it's not a slouch either. What the scared the out of me.
So what do you think? Is it an old trusty steed, or is it a white elephant by now? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.